Hi everyone, this is Francisco. I'm recording this video because I just watched the movie, let's see here, this one. It's based on a true story. A teen gamer plays his way onto a racetrack. See it in August 25th through August 27th to enter for your chance to win a PS5 and more. Anyways, it's called Gran Turismo. So this movie, this Gran Turismo movie, this is the cover for it here. It was a great movie, by the way. I really liked it. Yeah? What? Oh shit, give me 1 minute. Look at all you have to do. You go up, do all those settings right here. Do all the speed. Hasta la puedes poner en menos, no, mira. No, tampoco. Mira. Es como si you're investigating stuff, or if you're faster or slower than other people. But normal, aquí está normal. What number is it? Well, you just go up like this. You go like this, the settings and the speed. Y luego donde dice normal, normal. Ahí está normal, como grabaron ellos. Okay. Alright, so I'm back. Oh, look at my hair. Yeah, it's growing. So anyways, as I was watching this movie, I technically instantly thought of us, figuring out ways to prevent people from cheating. If we can prevent people from cheating on just about every single video game out there, and technically forcing them to abide by the rules,
So in this case, obviously this gamer guy, he was just playing a video game. He won a few of the races, and he spent a ton of hours. I forget how many how many hours this guy spent. But let's look it up. He's Gran Turismo. How many hours did the players spend? Grand Turismo. How long to complete Gran Turismo? When focusing on the main objectives, Gran Turismo 7 is about 24 hours in length. If you're a gamer that strives to see all aspects of the game, you are likely to spend around 119 hours to obtain 100% completion. Well, do people still play Gran Turismo? Well, I don't know. I think it's talking about something else, but these guys in the back, they're like the coaches, and this guy had a vision to get real gamers behind a real car, a racing. So this guy was just a racer in a video game, so like a regular person at home playing a video game, and this guy wanted to put some of these gamers in the real track. Well, he pitched the idea to this guy. He denied it, but eventually he agreed to it. And then obviously it's a success story, because it wouldn't be a movie if it wasn't. Okay, so you guys pretty much get the idea there. But I was just trying to figure out how many hours he spent playing the game. And but according to the movie, they're saying that these gamers spent more hours, more time interacting with the game than actual drivers racing. So I think that's what made them want to do this to begin with, I believe. I could be wrong though. But anyways, in the movie, I started thinking about how we can prevent people from cheating in all areas, in every single video game, and then fixing up the code in the video games, so people won't be able to cheat, not even in real life. And technically, pretty much like forcing the gamers to abide by the rules. Alright? And anyway, as I was watching the movie further, so I don't know if you guys are catching what I'm trying to say, but basically what I'm trying to say is for us to perfect and to look for bugs that don't align with the real rules in real life, and in doing so, we will be able to evaluate with technology who's really a good player as opposed to who's not. Okay, that type of thing. So that keeping a record of that type of logic. Alright, now the second thing, which I don't really know if this is even a thing, but I was thinking about underwater. I was thinking about underwater gaming, kind of like, this racer game. But what about like underwater, like scuba diving, water scuba diving video game? So I don't know if they have video games like this where the players actually go into a swimming pool, because there's a hold on, let me remove my sweater real quick. Let me jacket this. Because there's there is, ladies and gentlemen, a pool. It's called the Endless Pool. And is a real patented technology invention. Is this one right here. And basically, it allows the swimmer to swim basically forever straight, on a straight path. But obviously it requires electricity and stuff like that. Okay? That's the only thing. Or it could be a downfall for broke people who don't have money. But if you're passionate with underwater scuba diving, then this will be for you. And then we have I think it's called virtual reality, VR gaming. So somehow, like this. So introducing these type of goggles in the water, so they would have to be made waterproof, as well as getting the whole gear, like the scuba diving gear, like the suits with the mask, the suits, the gloves, the shoes, the whole 9 yards. I don't know about the oxygen tanks. I think it's a possibility. It could turn out that way, where you guys can use like some type of PSI pressure to collect oxygen. So like PSI tanks to collect oxygen to remain underwater at home, like in a swimming pool. So let's look at that. So I'm not really finding anything, but I'm thinking like a regular PSI tank, like this one. Iron hose, 5-gallon portable air tank. But if you guys can get it bigger, that would be better. This was a 10 gallon. But anyways, that type of idea. This is a 30 gallon, so this would be even better. Okay, and then connecting that to the suit, like this. And then, so with the glasses, you guys will be able to see, like, stuff like this. underwater stuff and interact with sharks, whales. Look at this, a turtles, the plants, and all that stuff. And I guess instead of like because I'm thinking you guys would be using this endless pool technology, which is just like a recycling of the water, right? So that's all this does right here. It basically pumps the water and creates like a pretty strong current. So as the user's swimming, it could seem infinite, like endless. So that's why they named it endless pool. The endless pools. So like, I think it's with the virtual reality glasses, you guys will still be under the water in these, endless pools. Okay, but at the same time, see, I'm going to keep that right there so you guys can see that. But at the same time, you guys will have the glasses on. And your tank, your air will be connected to a tank like this. So you guys will be able to experience, being under the water, and you guys can make this into a sport. I don't know, like I don't really know a lot of video games, but I never really played any like scuba diving video games before. But this one here says Diver Deep Water Adventures. Like I said, I have never played a game like this before. Now the only time is like maybe like a military game, but like all we had to do was like swim a little bit and then surface up, and then like some type of like Call of Duty type of kind of like commercial. Watch Call of Duty scuba diving. Underwater combat mission. Into the deep, Call of Duty. Well, this one's 15 minutes long. Like, see, so stuff like this, like I don't really know like exactly how it will play out, but like let's skip through this so I won't like really mess with the video. But look at, he has a gun. Or like a spear thing, that type of thing. But keeping the user straight at all times. So you as a player will be able to swim. Maybe even a harness can be applied, like on the suit in real life, to now like you guys will be able to swim up, but maybe you guys will be able to swim like in all directions. I don't really know like exactly how this will work, but like this is the idea right here. And creating that engaging, like engaging the users in this and making it seem so real. Like, look at this. Like in real life, this would be very, very scary for me. I mean, this doesn't look that bad. It's not like these players are not too deep, but like I would be afraid of sharks and other sea animals that I'm not really educated on. But see, like, if you guys can create some type of games where the users just go straight forward, and obviously they have to swim, then maybe you guys can, create some pretty cool content for people. So obviously we see right here that the player had passed away. This player died in this mission. But this is really cool. I have never played something like this before. And maybe it could have, the water current, stop and like adjust. It will be self-adjusting, so the water pressure will either the stream of the water will come out forcefully, but not too much, but like, depending on the levels. And then like right here they're stopped, they're like on the cut, they're not swimming. Now they are, but right now they're like on the platform, so maybe that's when the water will stop. But if they start swimming or whatever, that's when the water flow will like basically like kick in or whatever, or something like that. Or even like holding the user, like attaching something to the user, safely. Like even a hook, like I said, at the back of the suit with a string, and then they'll be inside of a box, like the swimming pool. So no matter what they do here, they'll be able to go in circles, like kind of like this dog. I think it's not a leash. It's a dog circle. Like it's like a leash, but I know it's not a leash. But let me see if I can find what I'm trying to refer to. It allows the dog to go around. Snap around, dog tie out. Let me see if it's this one. Yeah, kind of like this. So it will allow the user to go in circles without getting tangled up, obviously. So that's the idea. And this will allow users to actually play video games, but under the water and actually swimming. And I'm thinking about the PSI pressure thing connected to their tanks, their scuba tanks, like you guys were watching over here. Obviously they have some type of tank. Yeah, they do. So they'll be able to stay down there for as long as they want. Theoretically, I don't know. I mean, you guys would have to make the rules, do's and don'ts. I don't really know everything, but I'm sure all of you guys can figure out safety like rules, maybe even like a certain amount of hours per day that would be highly recommended for users, for players. That type of logic. So basically creating those rules to keep people safe, but at the same time for them to enjoy themselves at home in their own swimming pool. So it's like a stake into ground. Yeah, this one right here. I don't know what it's called, but it's called top paw spiral stake dog tie out. So like this. Basically allows the dog to go in circles, but without it getting tangled up, like around trees and stuff like that. So that's the idea. I don't know, because I don't really know what would be the best approach for this. That's why. But obviously the way I'm describing it would be it getting hooked on something above. So when the user goes in there, they'll hook it to the back of their suit, so they won't crash into things as they're swimming. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all I was referring to. So VR gaming for scuba divers. It says this virtual reality diving game gave oh, look at this. So this guy is basically tied up. He has the mouthpiece and all the ropes. So that type of concept. Says cheap vertical reality scuba diving. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool here. And what did I click to see that? Oh yeah, right here, this link. Oh, so this guy's in the actual swimming pool, I think. Virtual reality will soon be able to go underwater. University of Nevada, Reno. So, seeing they have the tank and everything. They have the tank. Obviously, they're It's a carry-on tank. Carry-on tank. But there is some, like in the movies, there's oxygen hoses that are fed to scuba divers. So it's just the hoses, it's not the actual tanks. Like this. So this is what I mean when I'm referring to the PSI tanks for the air. Like this. That way people can have like experience the water and still get wet. So they'll experience the water, their bodies will still get wet with the water, so they'll have a physical contact with the water. And obviously the breathing, like in the video game, they could have like breathing exercises first, depending on the user experience. So if you're a beginner, you would want to start all over in the video game to learn first how to use the mouthpiece and all that stuff. Alright, so this will be a video game for people that are mature and maybe like a certain age restriction, definitely an age restriction, possibly, I don't really know, since they're going to be in real water, they're going to be submerged in real water, and they're going to be using the hoses to rely on oxygen. So obviously the last thing that we want these people to do is to drown. But drowning could be a possibility, especially if someone panics or gets hurt somehow, or they have a heart attack in the water or something like that happens. And maybe they will be able to record their progress like in real life. So as they're interacting with this game thing, actually these would be great links to attach to this video. So like technically creating like the video game, like this movie, the Gran Turismo movie, because these people were just having fun. These gamers were just at home messing around, playing video games, but it says based on a true story of an impossible dream. See that? So that means that there's people out there who are taking you gamers very, very seriously. Okay? So, when it comes to all of this stuff for research and development, I believe that there should be some type of observation watching the users like this. Even if you are under the pool, the swimming pool, and it could be something like this, something easy to set up. Basically, just like a little swimming pool, kind of like a home jacuzzi, jacuzzi, yeah, jacuzzi. You know, like this. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could just be, basically all it will be is a water container, and it could be round or like a rectangle. That's yet to be determined. I think if it's round with a pulley type of thing at the very center, so it can be attached to the user, so the user can swim at a 360 degree, freedom. They'll be able to swim freely within that area or whatever. Without that will prevent them from crashing into things. I think that would be really good. But anyways, it's that image I clicked on is not coming up. It's not popping up. So pretty much like this though. Or look at this one. So something like this, right? Like a swimming pool type of thing. Kind of like how we seen in this image here. Kind of like this. With all these, well, I don't know about all these ropes. But definitely something above it to hold a user. Like suspended, to suspend the user. Alright, so yeah, like something like this. So this would have to be sold as well with the video game, and that would have to be shipped to people who are serious about this type of experience at home. That, or maybe they can create something for an existing swimming pool. So let's look at that, because I haven't really thought about this very much, a lot. But scuba diving at home in a swimming pool. So we would have to just look at some images here to get some inspiration. So, for instance, if you guys have your own swimming pool, similar to, I was thinking, I just can't find the right picture. That's all. But I'm thinking more like a circle. Like a circle pool. Something like this. That way, like I said, there will be some type of like metal, kind of like the awning umbrella with table underneath. So like this. So it will have some type of metal going up, and it will reach into the swimming pool center point with a rope hanging down for the scuba diver to attach to the back of the suit, which it will allow the user to swim but not like crash into the sides of the pool, the swimming pool. I don't know, that type of thing. I don't really know. I don't know. It was just something that crossed my mind. But yeah, so the user will be able to swim and really be able to swim and at the same time play a video game. Even if it's something like this Call of Duty underwater combat mission, deep into the deep Call of Duty Ghosts. And like I said, it will be connected to the PSI pressure thing with the goggles. And of course it will have some restrictions, until they come out with something like this, which that's pretty cool. Because I think the video game will technically be confined within the area that the user is within. So so the logic will change. The users will have more freedom to be able to do things. But what I'm thinking about is more like game apps for kids, like Dash. So the Dash is straight on experience, like this. So the user is only able to go forwards, and they can either turn to the right or come back to the center or to the left. But at all times, they're going straight. The user is traveling forwards as the illusion of the player going forwards, right? Sonic Dash. So like this. See, the user only goes forward. and then we have all these obstacles and stuff along the way. All right. See, so all this is just background stuff. See, so Sonic's only able to go in the center, left, or right. That's all. I don't know what this is. Let's watch a quick video on this real quick. See this? So this will be like the user swimming forwards, but maybe having to dodge some obstacles as they're swimming. Okay, so they'll be swimming like the endless pool idea right here. Now I clicked on something. Jesus. So like this type of logic with the person swimming forwards, and then something like this. And that's basically it. That's all I was kind of thinking about. But I mean, this one is super cool right here. You know, so they're able to like see how it has that rock formation all the way around. So that'll basically force the user to swim straight. And I really don't know about all this other stuff. But at the same time, it will encourage people. It will encourage people to go out. It will encourage people to go out, you know, to swim. It will encourage people to do some type of activity at home. So it'll keep people active. So I think from that perspective, I think it will be a good thing. Minus the cost. You know, for some people it probably won't be a big issue, you know, like buying something like this. But I think that it could even have a water temperature type of a setting to it. A whole room can be dedicated for this machine, for this game. And it could even be introduced in public. Like, rent it out for a whole hour. And basically, you're just going to go in the pool. You're going to put on the oxygen thing, and you're going to be able to swim forwards, and then you put the goggles on, and basically they will be like counseled on how to go about it. Like, they'll be taught, and I think that it's like super easy to understand, like straightforward, that anyone in the world could do it. But I mean, you guys can probably have a few of these machines and actually teach people how to scuba dive. So classes can be made, like instructional, educational type of classes for people who are interested in this type of industry. And obviously all the gaming, like Microsoft, like Xbox and all that, they keep a record of everything. The users player activity, the way they play, the way that they do things as opposed to other players or not, when they are online or not. So there's a huge database of all sorts of user activity that goes to, like, Microsoft, the people who created all of this stuff. So if someone is really interested or they're passionate about scuba diving, then this is where this would be super cool. Even welding, underground welding, I just thought about that. Like, so underwater, so like basically it could teach, it's called right here, there's a word for it, hyperbaric welding. It's in Wikipedia. So even this type of I think it will be called or considered a simulation. So these type of simulations can be introduced in the video game as well. Okay. So, but it will keep the player, like, moving and swimming. Maybe this machine can create water currents, so it could be a little bit challenging and difficult for the player to stay in one place, and it would just be optional. And I guess it could be the settings, it could be set to easy, moderate, like very difficult, and like legendary or something like that, right? So if it's like on easy, then the water current will drop. It won't be as intensive. It won't be intensified. So yeah, that type of idea. And maybe like a little gun like this can be added so they can like play around with it under the water. Look at this one. So I don't know, just food for thoughts. And obviously, there's already people doing this in real life, like we see here. This one. Deep diving VR, and he has a little gun with a green cross on it. um Yeah, because this experience is much different. You know, they're not actually in the water. And not just that, but the water can be different settings. It could be fresh water. It could be distilled water. It could be salt water. So the players will have the option to either swim in fresh water, distilled water, and or salt water. So, educationally, it would do more. It will be more than just playing a video game. It will be for like self-healing. It's like taking a bath with a ton of like a salt bath, which is beneficial for healing the muscles, for relaxing the muscles, and things like that. So that will be optional as well. And obviously when you guys have this, you guys will be able to have it forever. And I'm thinking if it could fit in a bedroom, that would be super cool. Like obviously a good sized bedroom or indoors, because some people have like indoor theaters. Some people have indoor theaters, right? Right. Some people have indoor bowling alleys. See this? And then some people have indoor pools. Like this. This one's super cool. But see over here on the side, this machine can be added. Kind of like this. Right here. That way when they're in there, they'll be able to have this type of experience. And I'm thinking that in the VR gaming goggles, it'll have the logic to keep the player swimming forwards at all times. But with the goggles, it'll provide the simulation as if the user is swimming either upwards or downwards or to the left or to the right, or even the ability of turning around, swimming, like turning the camera completely the opposite direction, but without actually bothering the user to do that. So the user will just swim forwards at all times, but it will just appear like it's going either up or down, left or right. So it will appear like the user has the freedom of movement, when in reality, in actuality, we will all know that it's not really happening. It's just part of the game experience. So I'll definitely be adding a link to this video here. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll share it, copy the link for that so I could add it to my video when I do share it. Okay, let me see here. So right now we see this link, and then I might even add a link to this. And then there's another one I seen in here. This one. Wait, was it this one or? Well, I kind of like this one too, so I'm gonna add this one. Shop AI 5 dot link products. So apparently they already have a ton of this stuff available. Yeah, I'm just going to share it, honestly. Just add all this in there. And then for the fourth one, I'm going to add this other one I seen with the virtual reality glasses. This one, the University of Nevada. With this title, this same title. So yeah. Oh, you see this? It kind of shows where the objects are around the user, like kind of like in Halo. Whoa, this looks real, like real big time. Yeah, this is definitely not like he shot his own partner, but this is definitely not like Halo, because in Halo the enemies are highlighted. Like this. See that? There's an outline around the enemy in the code. So it's just an object, a moving object, obviously in the code, and it kind of gives the location. It gives away the location of the players, which I don't really like. See, like this, look at the enemies highlighted in red, and then Halo's teammates are highlighted in blue. So for me, that's why I don't really like that feature. But over here, there's none of that. Like if this was Halo, all the enemies would be highlighted in red right now. It'll basically give their location away. But it's not that bad of a concept, because after all, it is AI technology. Computers, smart computers, who are giving away these players is giving away their location. Because we're dealing with smart computers, smart cameras, AI cameras, human detection, right? Let me type that in. Like this. See how it's highlighted? It highlights the human. So that's all the technology in Halo's doing as well. And as well as it I think it gives away the location of the other player, the enemy player. So like technically, well, no. It gives, like if I shoot someone down in Halo and the person dies in the game, it pretty much shows the user my location. But that's all because of AI technology. It's not user awareness, even though the gamer can be made aware of the other users, the other AI's location. It's only the only reason that location is revealed is because of the technology. So there's a huge difference. So like, I know it's AI technology, so I don't really have an issue with it because it is what it is. Like, if there's an enemy there, it's going to highlight it. But right here, you could tell that they're not using this technology. But because if there's someone hiding, like somewhere where someone can't see, but the AI technology cameras detected movement and detected a human, if this game had that, then technically it will highlight that person. It'll give that person's location away. But in this game, they're not using that technology. So that's why it's not the actual gamers who created these games that decide, okay, we're gonna do it this way with Halo, but we're gonna do it this other way with this other game. I think it's obvious that these people who are creating Halo games understand this technology better than the people who are dealing with Call of Duty. But I could be wrong. Like, maybe the game developers have no idea about what the fuck I'm talking about. And if that's the case, then then I guess everything I said is irrelevant regarding the users in a video game. Being highlighted or not, and the reasons why I think they're highlighted or not. Because, oh yeah, there's also the threat sensor. In Halo Infinite. Okay, so we can look at some images about this. So the threat sensor gives the enemy's location away within a certain radius, like this one right here. So this is the threat sensor, and it only goes out, the transmission goes out to a certain radius, and any enemies who walk in within that radius get detected like this. See, so the enemy here is highlighted in red because I think this enemy stepped into a threat sensor, and that's exactly what I was sharing in the other example. Halo enemies highlighted. So on here it's automatically by default activated no matter if someone is releasing a threat sensor or not. Now the only time the threat sensor is good in these scenarios in live mode is when a user is behind a wall. So right here there's a staircase, and there's this top platform. So if someone throws a threat sensor like up here for instance, then it will reveal who's behind this area, behind the walls and all that, because of that technology. So let me see if I can find like a good example of someone like hiding behind a wall that the threat sensor has identified or highlighted or highlighted. Right here, yeah, see, right here is showing the enemies hiding. They're hiding behind these walls. They're not even visible. The only reason they're visible is because of the threat sensor. It says proper way to use the threat sensor, Halo Infinite, uploaded December 31st, 2021. Alright, so it's not coming out. Let me detecting enemies with threat detecting enemies with the threat sensors in Halo Infinite. Detecting enemies behind walls with threat sensors in Halo Infinite. Right here. I think. Yeah, see, look at it. You see that red stuff right here? This red? The threat sensor is right here. And you guys can see the circle right in this area. Okay? So since this person is within that radius, that's why this character is highlighted. See, this other one, it's given away by default. Now, without that threat sensor, this user is not revealed behind the wall. Okay? So that's a good, quick example of what I mean by the threat sensor. And I kind of forget why. Oh yeah, I think I was just bringing that up because in this game it doesn't have that. It's more realistic. But realistic in whose terms? With or without technology? That's what we have to really ask ourselves now. See, like that object right there, it looks like a little tree. All these objects up here, with the naked eye, it'll be kind of hard and difficult to distinguish if that's a person or not. But especially if they're using camouflage, like plants as camouflage on soldiers. So like this, right? So now it becomes even more difficult to distinguish if it's a person or not, right? But obviously with AI technology, they'll be quickly detected with the AI technology. But it's not. I think I closed that window. But yeah, whatever. Oh shit, see that? See, there's a line right there. And then this guy shoots this way. But then it moved. The user moved, so it appears like it's coming from up here, but it's not. Look at that. Right there. Right there. From here on, it appears like it's coming from a different location, even though it kind of goes away very fast. Oh no, I think it was that one. Yeah, that light. This. That, I think that's what I seen. I don't know. So like, I mean, if you're in real life, like you you have to be fast in order to um, to figure out where the enemy's at. Especially if there's multiple targets, like 20 targets, and then you have to remember where each one is at as they're firing, or as they once fired, because of the burst in the weapon. Right there, he got hit from above. See right there? And he didn't even do anything about it. And from the behind, I was getting hit from all sides. Well, I'm gonna skip a little bit just because I don't want, to show everything. You guys would have to go watch it for yourselves. In other words. Yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so anyways, I thought about all this as I was watching this movie, because I started thinking, for some reason I thought about that, and I was thinking about swimming, like really being in the water and having these glasses. That, or maybe we can create kind of like, like a underwater zoo. Yeah, like this. So like maybe we can create something like this, but right here having a TV, but the user going in the water, so it would look more like this. So like the user will be in here, but the TV will be out here, and the gamer will be able to like shoot at things, or I don't know, do stuff like this, point a light. I don't really know. I mean, I would have to spend more time thinking about different ways this can be created and designed, or like even if we had to like redesign the whole thing, like I'm describing now, with this underwater type of concept. Because technically the user will be down here as the television is outside, but still the user will have the ability to be submerged in the water. And that's the key. If we can't get these goggles to be water resistant for whatever reason, then we can just add regular goggles with a remote or something like that. I'm not really too sure. But with a TV outside of the water. Okay. So the user will still be able to play a game like I was sharing over here with this endless pool. So I don't know. I really don't know like how this thing will work. But I guess you people can figure it out if you're really serious about this. Because I mean, look at this. Nothing's impossible to those who believe. I mean, this is a big glass. I don't know how thick this glass is, but there's definitely a piece of glass here with children on the other side, sharks, stingrays, a ton of live rock, live underground plants, and stuff like that. Fish, tunas, I don't know what the heck these are. Right? So, so yeah, like I shared already, like the jacuzzis, like the jacuzzi idea. So, but I think if it's like one solid piece of glass, kind of like a fish tank, fish tank, then people will be able to see the user, especially in public, like this. So imagine the user in the water, but there being people around witnessing this person interacting with this virtual reality game, like in public places like the mall, shopping centers, or even places where there's a ton of people. So as they pass by, they will see like maybe 20 of these, and some people in there, or maybe all of them will be occupied with people, and people will be waiting in line, and they'll be paying real money to get to experience this, even if they just pay for 1 hour. But this could be a full-blown business. Alright? It could be turned into a business where people just go to either learn how to scuba dive, or if someone just wants to try it out for the first time. And obviously, if they don't know how to do something or something happens, they can always swim up, safely. This thing will only be like, maybe 5 feet, maybe 6 feet. Not too. It doesn't have to be that big. And obviously, like maybe 10 feet, maybe a little bit bigger, 12 feet by 6 feet or something like that. That's all it really takes. Like a bed. Kind of like my bed right here. And from the bottom all the way to the top of that, and it'll be filled with water, and the scuba diver will be in the center, swimming either above or under. I'm thinking like, because this is more like swimming, and I clicked on it again. I'm not going to click on it again. But so like obviously the user would have to be submerged, right? And whatever will cause the user to stay down and not float up. So whatever would be required for that can be sold separately for people to have the best experience ever when it comes to this. But yeah, I basically thought about this as I was watching this one movie. And if we're talking about people, what about people swimming? I just thought about that, like racing, because we're talking about racing over here. This movie is about racing. So what if there was a racing competition, swimming racing, like this? Like professionals. Swimming sports. But, with the endless pool. And I closed it, but endless pool. And I can play the video real quick. See that? So it can be adjusted. That stream, it can be adjusted for swimmers who are racers, but doing it all from home. So basically, this will be like a video game. It will be the virtual reality concept, and this is real life stuff because it will be connected to the smartwatches. It will be connected to a ton of other things. It will be burning real calories, as people are swimming and racing. So this is not like a joke. This is not, it's not like a game where people are pretending to be swimming, but they're actually not. This will be real people inside of a real swimming pool and doing this. And like I said, I just thought about the top thing. So swimming like this, or you guys can go scuba diving under. So this will keep you guys engaged with the water for as long as you want. Look at this guy. He's even tricycling. I don't know what this would be considered, but he's riding his bicycle in there. I guess anything is possible. And obviously, AI technology, sensors and all that stuff will be able to keep track of how fast a user is swimming. So maybe like this movie, maybe there is people out there who might be faster swimmers than the professionals. Maybe. The only way to find out is to come out with this type of logical game, this logic, and allowing users to interact with this type of freedom, like any other video game. So they'll just, some people will just mess around, joke around, but for people who are actual swimmers, they'll love this, because now it's like working out, like there's a ton of working out videos, and people are sharing, they're sharing like everything with other users, like if they're progressing, how many times they worked out, how many calories they burnt. They're sharing if they gained weight or lost weight, or if they're gaining muscle or leaning out, or whatever the case may be. All of this data is in the internet, so it'll help people to connect without having to even go to an actual swimming pool. And obviously, someone can actually calculate the cost of everything. The cost of the tanks for the scuba diving, the cost of the endless pool, obviously programming it so it can cause it to go faster without the user hurting him or herself, and as well as the calculating the cost of how much it will cost to technically maintain this investment of theirs. So people won't jump into this blindly. They would be advised, hey, you can buy this unit for, 10,000. You can buy this unit for 20,000. You can buy this unit for 30,000, or less, or more. It doesn't really matter. But they'll have a fixed cost of how much these units will cost, and approximately how much money roughly they will be spending on keeping this system clean. Even if they have to pay like a pool cleaner. So basically factoring all that in the equation. That way, people who can afford these things will say, oh yeah, not a problem. Or for broke people, they'll just be like, that's a cool idea, but I don't really have the money, so why even bother? Unless there's these things in public places where people are able to go there and spend real money to interact with these machines for just a few hours or whatever, before someone else comes, that type of thing. But yeah, this is more for like professionals. I'm assuming, I'm thinking. So professional swimmers, professional scuba divers, and people who love to be. Oh, look at this one. This is what I kind of mean by an indoor type of thing. This one will be super cool, but obviously bigger. That way people can see them. But yeah, you guys pretty much understand what I'm referring to. Oh yeah, and they can have maybe like a kid, like kid levels for scuba diving. Let's look at that. Scuba diving for kids. Obviously video games. Video games. So there could be, like little baby levels. Obviously what I was showing you people was more like a realistic type of perspective, especially like Call of Duty, the video. But this would be for babies, for kids, for a younger audience. And we can add like some animations and stuff like that for them to interact with, and at the same time they will be swimming and they'll be under the water. So like a lifeguard would have to be there or something like that. I'm not really too sure, but like I said, if we did create something like this, someone would have to make the rules of what to do and what not to do, what to permit and what not to permit. Alright, so especially if you guys want your children to learn how to scuba dive, from a young age. So if they are young and they're showing interest in this particular type of industry where they want to maybe pursue a career in this type of industry, scuba diving and swimming, then you people would be able to watch them in these I think they're called simulators, in these things here. I think that's what it's called, simulator. I could be wrong though, but maybe a small one can be created for like the living room or something like that, because this could be dangerous if they get injured or something happens, right? Because we are talking about people, real people, playing a video game under the water. But that's pretty much all I have for right now for this video. Like, look at this one. Like, just like little easy levels and stuff like that for them to have fun and eventually to take those skills, because there will be training. There will be training to breathe underwater with the oxygen hose. So just that within itself, they can carry, they can take with them in the real world, or they can take it to a professional level like this. And oh yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to do this type of sports, because after all, that's what it's called, swimming sports. Alright, so with these type of pools, people won't even have to leave their home, or they might want to go to like a pool, but upon arriving, they discover that, like, dang, there's a ton of people here and I'm never going to get my training in for the day unless I had my own swimming pool, or unless I have my own swimming pool. So that's when this smart pool or whatever will be super worth it. Alright.